you doing, guys? Welcome back to Fable: The Last Chapters. Last time we did some shenanigans, and yeah, I gotta keep my hand away from the space bar or else I'll stop my narration. Anyway, this episode I recorded a tad bit too long, and it's like not enough to be put into like two full episodes, so I'm just gonna split this episode up into two parts. I'll upload this part, and then I'll upload part 2 like 2 hours later, or 1 hour later, depending on how I feel. So, I highly suggest using Physical Shield on Hobbs, as then they can't hurt you. Actually, I suggest using Physical Shield whenever the hell you can, because it's very, very, very good. So, like, especially when you get it up to higher levels, because then that's like basically boosting the defense of the physical shield. Then you take less damage on your MP, and like eventually you'll never ever ever run out of physical shield. It's hilarious, and nothing will ever be able to hurt you, and it's awesome. So now we finally start the quest of leading these two losers through Darkwood, and that's pretty great. Yeah. I don't know, we're leading losers across a giant dark plane of wood, and yeah, and stuff. That's pretty great. So anyway, I should really start skipping those, but I just can't be fucked. So yeah, you get a lot of gold for this quest, like probably the most gold you could have gotten in a quest so far. So, I'm just checking around to see if there's anything over here, and there isn't. That's good, I guess. Now we can just do some shenanigans. We can, come on, Tom. You should know there's nothing over there. Ugh. So, yes, and this guy, he comes along, and he's just like, something bit me. Please, let me come with you, and I won't kill you. Or something like that, so. Normally, I say no, because that's just one less thing to fight. Oh shit, spoilers. Anyway, that's just one less thing to fight later. But for the sake of just being good and making other things easier later in the game, and making it less grindy later in the game, because if you let him follow you, you get like a lot of good points, but if you don't let him follow you, then you like get a lot of bad points. Oh wait, I guess you just get a lot of bad points if you like don't let him follow you. But oh well, I don't want to lose good points yet. I just want to stay good for as long as I can until I get the Skirmishes bow. Then I can do bad stuff, and I won't get the Skirmishes bow till a lot later. So yeah, getting some resurrection file, and it puts me at 4. And I suggest opening all the barrels that you can, because usually they have something good in them, like a potion or a piece of food that can heal you later, and that's just one less thing to buy later. Of course, usually you can just obtain so much money that you can just buy infinity potions later, and you'll never ever die. So yeah. Anyway, now I believe this is your first encounter with a Balverine, and yeah, I sort of messed up because he charged forward and hit me. Always have your physical shield up when you fight him. I just messed up. Try and get behind them, because if you're behind them, you can usually get them into an infinite with your weapon, and then they'll die. Now, you can't do much damage to them right now because they have like a resistance to your weapon, sort of, I guess. But they're really weak to like certain things like silver weapons, which I'll get to later. Anyway, hold L and R at the same time in this area, and press whatever button you have for lightning, and you can kill all of those mushrooms, and it's awesome. I love doing that. Like I come back to Darkwood whenever I can just to do that, and it's awesome. So moving right along, I believe you fight another. No, you don't. You fight bandits. Now, when you're protecting people and you're fighting bandits, my suggestion is try to spread out your attacks. Don't try and go for one person, because then the other people will go to the people that you're protecting and hurt them, and that's not good. And yeah, you just want to keep your attacks spread out. Like hit one person like 3 times, hit another person 3 times, hit another person 3 times, just so they keep their eyes on you and they don't go for the other people, if that makes any sense. Anyway, you can open this chest and get some leather boots, and that's pretty great. Yeah. I don't put them on because, I don't know, bored and stuff. I'll put on armor later when I can be bothered, and I do the whole money glitch thing, but whatever. Yeah, now in comes another part of Bandits, and this is probably the hardest part. Like, this is probably the hardest part of this quest, because there's a bunch of bandits. Like, you gotta spread out your attacks between 4 bandits, and that's not exactly easy. So, yeah, just try your best and spread out your attacks. And if you have an opportunity to kill one, do it. Like, don't leave one alive with barely any HP, like I just did. So, yeah. And after you kill them, they'll be all happy and stuff. Now, if you go through, into the next part of Darkwood, and, like, your, partners aren't near you, it doesn't matter. They'll, like, teleport, and you'll still be able to go through with them. So, going into Darkwood Camp, which is a checkpoint of sorts, and, yeah, so, yeah, and stuff. Now they heal up, which is pretty great, and then we get another weapon, when I can remember where it is. I believe it's in that chest right there. Yes, it is, I believe. Open the chest, and in the chest you get a steel axe. Steel axes are always nice. Now, the thing about axes, long swords, and katanas, I think. Maybe there's one more. And maces. Maces, too. All 4 of those weapons, and cleavers. Those 5 weapons, maces, cleavers, long swords, katanas, and axes. They all have the same attacking speed. So, just usually katanas are the strongest out of them. So, if you want, like, a master weapon, get a master katana, because that's, like, the strongest kind of katana, unless you can't afford it. So, yeah, and then there's great weapons, like great axes, great swords, great maces, and great hammers. I think those are the 4 great weapons. Then there's also arrows. So anyway, that's for this part. Watch for part 2.